All right, sports fans, get ready for a journey through time as we dive into one of the most beloved and controversial sports in the world, football. From its rough and tumble beginnings to the billion-dollar industry it is today, football's history is filled with incredible moments of triumph, passion, and, yes, controversy. So, lace up those cleats, and let's get started. Our story begins in the mid-19th century. Football, as we know it, started on the college campuses of the United States, but it wasn't born from thin air. Its roots trace back to traditional European sports, including soccer and rugby. In fact, the game initially resembled a chaotic mashup of these sports with very few rules. Students at Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and other universities would come together in brutal scrimmages that looked more like organized brawls than the football we know today. But in 1869, something extraordinary happened. The first recorded college football game was played between Rutgers and Princeton. It wasn't quite the sport we recognize now. It looked more like soccer, but it set the stage for what was to come. The next few decades saw the sport gradually evolve, with different schools creating their own rules. The chaos and violence on the field were so intense that by the 1880s, people began calling for the game to be banned altogether. Enter the legend himself, Walter Camp, often called the father of American football. In the 1880s, Camp helped standardize the rules, introducing key features like the line of scrimmage, downs, and the 11-man team. These changes transformed football into a more structured and strategic sport, and soon it began to spread across the country. By the early 20th century, football was no longer just a college sport. The professional game began to take shape in small towns, particularly in the Midwest. In 1920, the American Professional Football Association was formed, which later became the National Football League, the NFL we know today. But even back then, football had its critics. The physicality of the game was a double-edged sword. It drew in fans, but it also led to horrific injuries, sparking debates about safety almost from the beginning. As football grew in popularity, it evolved into a true American pastime. By the 1950s and 60s, television changed everything. Fans could now watch their favorite teams from home, and the sport exploded in popularity. Iconic teams like the Green Bay Packers and stars like Johnny Unitas became household names. But while the NFL flourished, it wasn't without competition. The AFL, American Football League, formed in 1960, posed a serious threat to the NFL's dominance, leading to an intense rivalry. That rivalry culminated in the 1966 merger agreement between the leagues, which birthed what we now know as the Super Bowl, the ultimate American sporting event. Now, let's fast forward to today, where football stands as a multi-billion-dollar industry. The NFL is not just a sports league, it's a cultural phenomenon. With millions tuning in every Sunday, and the Super Bowl attracting over 100 million viewers globally, football reigns supreme in the American sports landscape. The game has evolved dramatically. Offenses are more explosive, players are faster and stronger, and technological advancements like instant replay and helmet communication have revolutionized the way the sport is played. But alongside this rise to global fame, football has faced some of its most significant controversies, moments that have shaken the very foundation of the sport. First, let's talk about the issue that's been front and center for the past decade: concussions. The hard hits and aggressive style of play that have long defined football have also contributed to a growing health crisis among players. Studies have shown that repeated head trauma can lead to chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, a degenerative brain condition linked to memory loss, depression, and even suicide. In 2013, the NFL reached a $765 million settlement with former players who had sued over concussion-related issues. And the league has since introduced stricter rules on hits to the head. However, the debate over whether the NFL is doing enough to protect its players rages on. Then, there's the controversy surrounding player protests. In 2016, quarterback Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem to protest racial injustice and police brutality. What started as a silent protest quickly ignited a national debate. While some praised Kaepernick for using his platform to highlight important social issues, others criticized him for disrespecting the flag and the military. The NFL found itself caught in the middle as the protests spread across teams and seasons. Even today, Kaepernick remains unsigned, with many believing he was blacklisted for his activism, while the conversation around race, politics, and sports continues. And let's not forget about scandals like Deflategate, where the New England Patriots were accused of deflating footballs during the 2014 AFC Championship game. The scandal led to a lengthy investigation, a hefty fine for the Patriots, and a 4-game suspension for quarterback Tom Brady. It was a controversy that shook the league, raising questions about integrity and fairness. The NFL has also faced scrutiny for its handling of domestic violence cases. Players like Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, and others have been involved in high-profile incidents, and the league's response has often been criticized as too lenient or inconsistent. These controversies have forced the NFL to re-examine its policies, but the public outcry over how the league addresses such serious issues remains a sensitive and ongoing topic. Now, while the NFL is the dominant force in American football, we can't forget the college game, where traditions run deep and rivalries are fierce. College football has its own set of controversies, from issues of player compensation to the dangers of recruiting violations. For years, the debate over whether student-athletes should be paid for their contributions to the billion-dollar college sports industry has been hotly contested. In recent years, new name, image, likeness, or NIL rules have allowed athletes to profit, but questions about fairness and exploitation still loom large over the sport. Despite all the scandals and challenges, football's grip on American culture remains as tight as ever. Fantasy football, Madden video games, and year-round coverage on networks like ESPN and Fox Sports keep the sport at the center of attention. But what does the future hold? There's no doubt football faces some serious questions. Will the ongoing concerns about player safety and concussions fundamentally change the way the game is played? How will the league handle the intersection of sports and social justice as athletes continue to use their platforms for activism? And as football becomes a truly global game, with NFL games played in London, Mexico City, and beyond, could we one day see an international expansion? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, football has become more than just a game. It's a cultural force, a battleground for social issues, and a reflection of the highs and lows of American life itself. So, whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual observer, football's story is far from over. The game continues to evolve, and with it, the controversies, challenges, and triumphs that make football the spectacle it is today.
Thank you for watching Just Better TV. If you enjoyed our content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest motivational videos, fun facts, and inspirational stories. See you soon.
Welcome to Just Better TV. We aim to inspire, educate, and entertain at Just Better TV. Our channel features diverse content designed to motivate and enlighten you. From powerful motivational stories and amazing quotes to intriguing educational insights and fun facts, we aim to provide valuable lessons that guide you through life's journey. Whether you're seeking inspiration to achieve your goals or curious knowledge to expand your mind, Just Better TV is here to make your day just a little bit better. Join us and discover content that enriches your life and fuels your curiosity.